Hey everybody, welcome to Chortle Cast. I'm Jake, and with me today, Brodie.
A sleepy boy.
Sleepy boy?
I'm a little sleepy.
Is that going to be your nickname?
I'm only sleepy sometimes.
Steven's the regular streamy boy. I feel like we came up with something for me during the Sea of Thieves cast, but I can't remember what it was.
Deck boy? I don't know.
Deck boy?
Like swabbing the decks? I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, well, hey, in case you didn't know, this is Chortle Cast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about TV shows, movies, video games, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. I realized a few days ago that I always go TV show, anime, movies, whatever we want to talk about, but I never say video games, and we almost always talk about video games. So I would list the three things that we never hardly talk about, and not the thing that we mostly talk about.
We talk about movies a lot.
We talk about movies a lot and TV shows a lot. But like just this past podcast, we talked about Jessica Jones. But video games are our big thing, and I never list it. It's good. You should watch it, especially if you watch the first season. You didn't like the first season? You won't like this season.
I liked what's his name? Tennant.
Yeah, David.
I liked his
Tennant?
character, but it was just like I don't know.
He was one of the best. Show. He was one of the best parts of season 1, and he's not in season 2, so
who's the villain in season 2? Not that I'd even know. Never mind, don't tell me.
It's not the actress isn't like, oh my gosh, whoever.
Well, I just meant the character. I probably don't even know
that's
the
hard
character.
to explain. She has the same powers as Jessica Jones, so I'll just leave it at that and let you take a gander at what that might mean.
Is it anti-Jessica Jones?
That would be someone who was like really pathetically weak, but had their life all together. Like they didn't drink, they didn't have alcoholism or anything.
So just a normal person.
Just a normal person that's anti-Jessica Jones. But anyway, yeah, we got a great show for you this week. We don't have Steven. He's taking the night off. He's going to be streaming some stuff. So if you're watching on Friday when this goes live,
then you missed it.
You missed it. But they did a great co-op live stream of some great game.
How do you know it's great? What if it went terribly?
I have so much confidence in those boys over there that they'll
see the future.
The live stream team, they'll do a great job. So anyway, it's just me and Brodie. We're going to be talking about we're going to catch up. We're going to talk about some Sea of Thieves some more. Now that we've gotten our hands on the game, I have some real hard feelings about it. Brodie's going to talk about some Fortnite, and then we're going to talk about like the Nindies Direct. Guy. You're the Fortnite guy?
I guess.
Is that really what you want to be, though?
No, I'm just saying that, like, usually if I'm in a podcast, it's like I end up talking about Fortnite somehow.
If Miles was here, we'd end up talking about Fortnite, too. So don't feel bad. If it was just me and Steven, no, there would be no Fortnite conversations. But, and then we're going to talk about Atari's new announcement and then a little bit about Banjo-Kazooie. So we got a great show for you. But first, let's catch up. Brodie, what you been playing? Kind of already alluded to this, but, you know.
I don't Fortnite, we played a little bit of Monster Hunter.
So have you gotten to play? You haven't gotten to play the new update yet?
No, not yet. I mean, all that's added right now is Devil Joe.
Just yeah, the new monster.
The pickle. The big pickle horror.
So he's a classic monster that's
I think he's been in there since like 3 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen videos of him like fighting a Basilgeist or Basiljuice and all these other monsters and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's one that was like a really small monster that he just kind of obliterated, and I was just like, oh, that's kind of sad.
Jagras, he'll like pick up in his mouth and use it as a weapon.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's crazy. But yeah, I think there's supposed to be like some kind of event. There's
a spring something event.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like an Easter event. Yeah, I saw there's a costume for Poogie that's like a bee, a bumblebee, or something like that. It may have just been concept art. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But anyway,
who freaking knows?
And then you've been playing Fortnite. They have an update for Blitz
mode.
Now
I'm just waiting for. What was the last game that even came out that
excited you?
I think it was Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that was the one you were the most excited about.
I'm not like super excited for it, but I'm looking forward to God of War.
We've talked about this before when we talked about Game of the Year and stuff. Like, you know, God of War wasn't really in my dock.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's not really on my radar. But I will say, I watched a couple, I don't know if it was reviews or like previews or whatever that people were putting up of God of War, and I was like, okay, I want to get this. I want to play this because it looked really, really fun. I think what really sold me, the moment that I can really call back to and just be like, yep, I'm buying this, was he threw his axe and it like went off. And then you could just see the character, like you could tell that someone was holding a button to like just call it back, and it just went and went back.
There was one I saw that was he threw the axe, and when he threw that, Atreyu, which was his son,
right,
jumped in the air and drop kicked a monster, and then he called the axe back to him and killed it. And I was like, huh. But that was the only thing, because I saw there was like a 20-minute video or something of the new gameplay, and like I just saw that one GIF, and I was like, okay, I'm good.
I saw a GIF of him throwing his axe, and I said, you know what, I'm good. Yeah, well, it's funny because like, I don't know, I didn't know you were gonna get it, because I thought at one point I had sent everybody a message, and I was like, hey, is anybody planning to get God of War? I don't know if I should put it on a live stream schedule or anything. And I didn't get any responses from anybody, so I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. Probably no one is, because I'm not getting it either. But I don't know. I'm excited now. I definitely can't wait to try it.
At first, I don't think I was going to pick it up when it came out, but it's like I kind of want something to play.
Yeah, the more you see of it, you like it. You've seen that it doesn't cut at all. There's no loading screens. Yeah. It's all a one take, if you will. Mm-hmm. I'm really curious to see it.
That's going to be interesting.
Come into fruition, but plus the story just really intrigues me.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Norse gods.
Yeah.
I want to see him beat the heck out of Thor. What if you get to fight Thor in this?
What's so funny is I've heard people say this is the best Thor game you've never played. You've got to fight Thor in it, right?
Yeah, or Odin.
I can confirm that Odin is in it.
Okay.
I don't know that you fight him, but I can confirm that Odin is playing a role.
It'd be cool if like I'm sure Loki will be in it somehow.
Oh, definitely. There's no way.
But I hope they make it like actually like really freaky when you fight him.
Like he's messing with your mind and everything? Yeah. Surely.
I hope so.
The only reason that wouldn't happen is if they decided to make a God of War. This is just God of War, right? Mm-hmm. If they were going to make like a God of War 2, where it was like the continuation of this.
They already have stuff. Let me find this.
Now I know I've heard about they're talking about if they do a sequel, they might do Egyptian gods or something like that.
There was God of War has no loading screens and sequels are already planned.
Yeah. But see, what I'm wondering, because they've also said that they've thought about if we do another one, what if we did Egyptian gods? What if we did, I guess Greek is what they've already done with Roman, but like, what if we did some other, Mayan gods or whatever?
Yeah.
They talked about that, but I'm wondering if they did a sequel to this one that was still Norse gods, if that's where we'd fight Odin and Loki and all that stuff. I hope not, because I'd rather it just be one nice little package that I can play and enjoy and be done with. But anyway, and then Fortnite, you've been playing Fortnite. We just like kind of talked about Fortnite and jump back in the stuff over. Blitz mode. What is Blitz mode like?
It's fun. You start the game. I think they said it doesn't last longer than 15 minutes for any game.
Right.
That you get double resources from like mining stuff.
Oh, really?
So that's awesome. Chest spawn is at like 90%. So there's usually just chests everywhere that they spawn. And then ammo boxes are higher spawn rate. Storms move faster. So it's like when you're on the island, the storm's already up. So when you're on the island, you're actually in the storm. So it's like raining and there's like wind blowing everything.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But when you look at the map on the island, you can already see like where the first circle's going to move to.
Right.
So pretty much everyone ignores the outer part and goes straight into the circle. And I think it gives you 30 seconds to jump. And after that 30 seconds, the storm's already starting to move. Jeez. And I think it moves in like a minute and a half or something. And then like each time the storm shrinks, I think you have like a minute and a half to like move. So it's really fast paced, but like it's way more, I wouldn't say it's way more fun. With the normal modes, you can be like methodical and stuff, but like Blitz is like, I can
all the time.
Build anything I want pretty much. So that's nice.
Yeah, you do a lot of building when we play. That's the part of the game that I don't have down yet. Mm-hmm. I'm great at slowly working my way up, taking out 1 or 2 guys as I'm moving. But once I get to the last 4 and they're building towers, I'm screwed. Like, I just have no hope.
I'm just I'm an aggressive player and just build ramps towards people and shoot them. I don't think I just shoot.
So it's more fun because it's more aggressive for you.
I wouldn't say it's more fun. Yeah, I would. I'd just say it's more fun.
I was about to say, you basically said that already. So
yeah, it's more fun. I think they shouldn't add it to the normal game.
You don't want this to be a permanent mode?
The thing that makes it more fun to me is the double resources thing. Mm-hmm. But that would suck if it was in the main game, because then it'd get to
because people would be building all the time.
Top 20, and yeah. If it was squads, that'd be each person that has 999 resources of everything. And that would just suck.
Gotcha.
There'd be too much building.
Gotcha.
I don't know, but it's fun.
Well, they've done a bunch of those different kind of modes. The 20 versus 20, and what was it?
There was 50 versus 50. There was one that was only silenced weapons.
Right. And then there's the gold.
Yeah.
Gold mode. So it seems like they're popping out a new mode every couple weeks, and doing it that way. So they probably won't keep it, but it's good to know that it's a fun mode. Yeah, that if you're an aggressive player, you may enjoy it a lot more. But
or if you just think somehow that the normal games are too long.
They are kind of long, but only if you win. Yeah. Only if you get to the end. They can be really short, as short as you want them to be. But yeah, Brodie's been playing that, and then Steven and I this weekend played, or I guess not this weekend, it was just this week because it came out. Sea of Thieves came out. Last podcast we talked about the final beta and our experiences with that. The full game is basically the final beta, but things are more expensive, and you've got access to, I think, just one different kind of quest. They didn't really show any new cosmetic items. You didn't get any reward for being in the final beta. It was basically just what you saw in the final beta. So we played probably 2 hours. I probably played an hour before we went live, 2 hours with him, and then since he and I did our live stream, I've played probably 4 more hours. Mm-hmm.
Bored yet?
I'm not bored yet, but it does feel like I'm running errands for Blackbeard. It's kind of what it feels like. I'm mostly there's really I don't know what they could do at this point to make it more interesting. I'm a solo player. Steven is really the only person that I have that I would jump on with. We've also got friend of the show, Tyler, who we played in one of the early final beta live streams. He's another guy that he and I are on different time zones and schedules are just wonky. So to jump in for the hour that I've got, it's not likely I'm going to have anybody else who can jump in with me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm fine with that because I just typically prefer to be a solo player. And with the sloop, it's a lot of fun to sail around. But literally, I'm going to an outpost. I'm picking up an order. I'm going to Island A. I'm picking up these chests. I'm boogieing on back. I'm having fun with that, but I don't know what I'm working towards because I'm literally getting the money, starting another quest. I'm not even looking at the shop. I'm not even looking at what I can buy.
Well, even if you did look at the shop, everything sounds really expensive.
Everything is really expensive. Like right now, I just got to I think $5,000 or $6,000. A hook in the game is like $8,000.
That's ridiculous.
And a sale, like if you want a special sale for your ship, again, it does nothing. It's just cosmetic. That's like $100,000. So there's no way. So I had $5,000, and then I spent. I think you have to pay $100 once you hit level 5 with each company. You can pay $100 to get better quests. And now instead of quests being free, you pay $20 to have a better quest that'll get you more gold at the end. Did that with all companies. So now I'm approaching level 10 on all companies.
Is that as high as it goes?
No, it goes up to level 50, and I'll get there in a second. But I did that with each company. That knocked me down 1,000. As you the only items that you can buy that improve as you buy them are supposedly this is how this works. I have not noticed a difference, but supposedly, I'm sorry, I had coffee. Supposedly before.
Does that make you burp?
Apparently, I don't know. Someone must have spiked the coffee in the office this morning. Supposedly, those items that you buy from the companies are better and improve. So I spent maybe 2,000 or 3,000 on those. So all that to say, there's really all you're getting is gold to spend on cosmetic items that don't improve your gameplay in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
So in my mind, they're pointless because aside from looking cool, and this isn't a third-person game, so I'm not seeing my character, and I don't know. It just there's really no point in earning more money because nothing you buy is going to benefit you in any way other than your eye.
Can you get new shanties? Not shanties.
No.
Instruments?
You can buy new instruments, but they're the same instruments with a color of paint.
Yes.
I think that they may sound better, but I don't know that for sure.
Sound better?
Yeah. Like the standard one that you get sounds fine, but I think if you get a more expensive one, it may sound better. I don't really know. I do know if you drink and play music, your music's all the messed up. It's like instead of a dun 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 dun, whatever. So there's no. I don't know what I'm working towards in that game. Is kind of where it is.
Gold. What was it? The gold status or something?
So they have legendary status, which is supposed to unlock a secret area in the game. And then beyond that, there's supposed to be legendary captains, which is something else entirely. So in the beta, we just known that exists, but we didn't know how that was going to work. Now that the game's live, in the pub that you start in, you start the game, the first time your pirate ever wakes up in the pub, you're staring at who everyone's calling the stranger. Mm-hmm. And it's a man or female pirate, depending on what time of day, I think. Standing by a door in the bar. When you go up to them, they speak in this riddle, and they're like, when your reputation is low, or I may hold the key to something greater, but your reputation is low, come back to me when all companies 5. So you raise your reputation with the companies to level 5, you go back to him or her, and they'll say, 10 you must be with the companies 3 before I can give you a key to the sea, or something like that. They'll tell some dumb, stupid riddle that's basically just like backward. I was about to. They basically just give you whatever to, hey, go level up again. So when that happened to me at level 5, I was really mad because I thought he would give me some sort of legendary quest. Mm-hmm. And like, here, go do this, prove to me that you're worth whatever. But no, he just says, okay, now get to level 10. So I Google it later because I was hoping I could have access to whatever he has for this weekend stream and Let's Play that we're recording of Sea of Thieves. I Googled, and it took me a while because there's not a lot of information about him, but basically the highest anyone's gotten and talked to him who felt like they should share it on the internet. Mm-hmm. Basically, until you get to level 50, he won't do anything. You'll by sets of 5, he'll tell you to go raise your reputation. Yeah, until you hit level 50.
You have to be level 5.
So basically,
level 10.
Basically, it took me 8 hours to get to level 5 on all companies. The quests get longer and more difficult as you level up. So there's no way I'm gonna get. Full disclosure, I did a free trial of XPass, mm-hmm. and once it's done, I'm not playing this game anymore.
Yeah.
I was thinking I would buy the game after. I kind of wanted to see, and I'm glad I did this now. I thought I would for sure want it. Now that I've played it, and I will continue to play it for the rest of my duration of having it, but now that I've played it, I don't know that it's worth $60. Steven all throughout our stream was like, this is a subpar $30 game.
Yeah.
And I pretty much agree with him there. If it was $30, I might buy and keep it. Basically what I'm going to do after this is my task is up, I'm going to wait and look for a sale. And if it goes on sale for 30 or lower, I'm going to get it and I'll play some more.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, but I want to know. The only thing driving me at this point is I want to know what happens when you get to the stranger. No one on the internet has done that yet, so I don't know what it does.
If someone did that, they'd have like no life.
I mean, my God, especially right now. That's like 3 or 4 days out past launch. Unless they had early access to it, like the full game early access, I don't know how someone could have done it without just playing 24 hours nonstop or something.
Yeah. Watch it be something like super disappointing, like No Man's Sky's Center of the Universe thing.
Well, which I don't know what the answer to that one is, but like
I think it's like you just go there and it's like, you're here now.
I think this is just going to be a secret pub that has ghost pirates in it, is what it's supposed to be. But it supposedly will unlock some other stuff for you to do. Which in the quests I read, or in the stuff I read, it was like once you do that, now you can go fight the skull pirates. I've been fighting the skeleton. What are you talking about? Like, I can go to the glowing skull that we went to and we fought that boss. Like, I can go do that right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But that's what it's saying this stranger will give me access to. It also mentioned fighting the Kraken, which you can also do before getting there.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And speaking of the freaking Kraken, that only will appear for galleons with 4 people. It will not appear for a sloop. It will not appear for 2 people on a sloop. It will not appear for 3 people on a galleon. It will only appear randomly for 4 people on a galleon. And that pisses me off.
Why take a piece of the game out for people that don't have a group, like an entire group of people to play with?
I admit that I understand that I, as a solo player, could probably not fight off the Kraken by myself. I understand that, and that's fine.
Just don't want to see it.
I want to see it. I want to experience it. And even with 2 people, I think a full sloop, 2 people, should be able to trigger it.
Yeah.
Because you at least have one other person to help you. And hell, even just make a baby Kraken and a big Kraken. You know what I'm saying? One with 4 tentacles and one with 2. You know, I don't know, whatever.
That and like I've only seen one video of it. It seems kind of disappointing.
I've heard that it's disappointing as well because it's just tentacles. There's no body.
No, it's just tentacles that you have to shoot cannons at.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's all the Kraken is anyway. But still, it is frustrating. I don't know.
I mean, they could have done more. Like how it wasn't Krakens in like Wind Waker, but like there'd be like
up in a tornado and you're fighting it.
That you get sucked down. Those may have been Krakens.
I don't know what they called them. They weren't
called Krakens.
Something.
But yeah, like start a whirlpool that you had to like kill the Kraken before you got to the center. You die. Like that'd be interesting to do.
That would be cool, but I don't know. I don't know what they could do to improve it at this point. You could argue, well, Jake, you just said, weapons don't improve, so why not just say that? Well, because if someone who already is at level 50, they probably have the best guns and the best cannons in the game, and now if I run into them, they really will blow me out of the water. I mean, they're already going to blow me out of the water because I'm not going to know how to fight them back. But
at least you wouldn't lose anything.
I would lose stuff. I'd lose whatever chest I had, but because then at that point the gold would matter. But I don't know. It just when the only thing you're striving for is cosmetics. That's, for me at least, that's not super, like, I would basically run on whatever crap I could wear right now and work on getting better weapons so I can defend myself. Then I would worry about cosmetics.
Yeah.
With weapons not mattering, I can obviously concern myself with cosmetics, But again, it's like, what's the point? I mean, I don't even see my character, so I don't even know how cool I look. Mm-hmm. I don't know, whatever.
Third-person games, man. That's why they're awesome.
I love third-person games. I love seeing it. And I really do. It's not that I like hate this. Like, I don't hate this game. I really wish this game was better because I want to play it. I'm going to continue to play it, but I don't know. I just hate. I hate that it turned out this way, and I really hate it for Xbox too. I'm by no stretch of the imagination an Xbox fanboy, but this was probably one of their largest releases for their system, and it's by and large a fail right now.
Yeah.
So
because there's a lot of people like the first day it came out that were like, this is No Man's Sky all over again, and it's like, whoa, because No Man's Sky they hype the crap out of, but like I haven't seen anyone being like, you can do this and this and this, and it's like No Man's Sky was like each world's procedurally generated. You can go anywhere you want. You can do this and this and this.
The difference with No Man's Sky is that they told us we could do all these things that we couldn't do. Mm-hmm. Sea of Thieves never told us we could do some of these things that now we're like, well, we can't do this. Why is this not here? They told us what was going to happen. I think people who were interested in the game were just hoping that there's another level. There's something else that's coming that they're not telling us about.
Well, even in the beta, I was already like, this map seems really small.
And yeah, it's the same map from the beta. Like, I've been to the same islands over and over and over. And
the islands seem like there's nothing on them.
There's nothing on them. If you go to a bigger island, you have a better chance of running into like some random things that you can pick up. Like there are messages in a bottle that either have a treasure chest hidden away somewhere that you can go get, or it might be a merchant order that you can pick up. Sometimes there's certain merchant orders that ask for like barrels of salt or, crates of cannonballs. And those are things that you have to find. There's no, as far as I can tell, there's no way to like I can't get 50 cannonballs in my inventory and bam, there's a chest. Like I've found barrels that are carryable that say 50 cannonballs that you can carry and sell, but I found like exotic silks that I've taken back to a merchant or something.
Yeah.
So there's things like that to find, but again, like what? And even furthermore, there's like all these really weird like caveman paintings on some of the islands. Like there's one, so there's Snake Island that has a bunch of weird ritualistic like snake worshipping stuff. But there's another island that's like worshipping crabs, and it has the name of the island has nothing to do with crabs. But there's even one that's like black crab plus red crab equals death. And I was like, what is this? There are no crabs in this game. Is there a way to summon crabs to fight on this island? Like, what is this? And it's just nothing. It's just there. Now, they could add to that. That could be something coming. But I don't know.
The crab expansion?
Our crabs are in your booty!
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I don't know. That's enough about that. But right... If you haven't bought Sea of Thieves and you're listening and watching and wanting to know where you're at, my suggestion to you would to be wait. If you're already an Xbox game subscriber, hell, get it, download it. You're paying $10 a month
for 3 hours.
Yeah, well, no, you're downloading it. You if you already have it and you're getting games whenever they come out on that anyway. Sure, yeah, it's worth your download then.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't get Xbox Game Pass for it. I wouldn't.
I feel bad.
I wouldn't buy a system for it or anything.
Steven bought Logan's PlayStation or Xbox for it.
Well, he bought that for other things too, like what's the
State of Decay.
State of Decay. He's keeping it for that. He bought the Xbox to sell it later for upgrading his PS4. But once State of Decay, he got reminded of that. He was like, "Oh crap! Now I have to keep this thing." So, anywho, all that to say, yeah, Sea of Thieves. I wish it was better, but anyway.
Oh.
The only other story that I have to catch up on is if you watch me and Brodie, or I guess it wasn't. Did you and I live stream anything?
Yeah, we did Darwin.
That's right. We live streamed Darwin because we couldn't live stream Kirby because my Switch broke. So, public service announcement, if you have a Switch and you're using a Nikon dock or any third-party dock, be aware that the newest update on your Switch may break your Switch if you use those things. So we were doing a Let's Play of Kirby, which came out this Wednesday, and you can go watch that. It's pretty funny. We were doing a Let's Play of that. We stopped to set up for a live stream of Kirby, and we get this error message on my Switch. And long story short, it completely bricks out. So the update to that story is I have now sent it to Nintendo. I called Nintendo support. Because it happened immediately following an update, they're giving me a free shipping, free repair, and free return shipping. They said if they find physical damage to the port or any part of the system, then they'd call me, and it probably would be something I'd have to pay for. Because at that point, that would signal that the dock was responsible. Mm-hmm. I am fully expecting that call to say it's the dock's fault, mm-hmm. Which I argue with, but whatever.
That is kind of...
It's because it wasn't... It was the update that had the bug that caused this to happen. So anyway, all I'd say, I'm hoping... The only thing that could be wrong would be the port would be broken, mm-hmm. which would no longer let it charge. But I imagine there has to be some sort of software component to that as well, because it was completely bricked. We had power, we just couldn't do anything. Yeah. It won't charge now, but anyway, I'm hoping it's a software thing. But anyway, all that to say, hopefully I'll be getting that back in a few weeks. But I sent it off Monday, and I don't even know if they've gotten it yet. I can't track.
And you have a trip this weekend.
I have a trip this weekend, but I'm not as much worried about that as I am about my trip to Las Vegas, that I'm going to be in a 2 or 3 hour flight, and my trip to Israel, where I'm going to be in like a 24-hour flight or whatever. So I'm really hoping by then, that's a ways off, so I'm really hoping by then I'll have something. But anyway, all that to say.
Did they say anything about your save files?
So I told her, I was like, I'll be honest with you, lady. And the lady who helped me was so sweet. She was very nice. She was very helpful.
Give her a shout out.
I want to say it was Lorraine or Lori.
Thanks,
I can't
Lorraine.
remember her name. She was great, and I told her that. Bless her heart, she had arthritis. And so every now and then she would just be like, ow. My fingers know it's the end of the day. So anyway, no, bless her heart. She was great. What am I trying to say? I told her, I said, all right, my main concern is...
Lori, look.
I was like, look, Lori, I don't care if I have to pay for a whole new Switch. I'm mostly concerned about my save files and my games that are downloaded. She said, games that you have, the eShop knows you have. Mm-hmm. So you can download those again, no problem. She was like, and then she said, we will do everything we can to recover your save data. I said, okay, that's all I need to know.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. I'm going to be real mad. I'm mostly going to be mad about Splatoon, I think, at this point. And actually, I'm going to be really mad about Mario Odyssey.
Why? You beat it.
I've beaten it, but I don't have all the moons. And I have
going for that.
I have been going back and trying to... Basically, I tried the darker side of the moon, and I said, I'm never getting whatever's at the end of this.
Was that the one where you had to fight all 4 rabbits?
No, I've done that one. That one was fine.
That made me mad.
That one was...
The thing that made me mad about that was the stupid hat one.
Yeah.
Well, they all have hats. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The one where he spins towers. The top hats? Yeah.
God, dude.
I mean, it was definitely the hardest fight of all of them, but that is not hard. Have you gone to the darker side?
No.
That's where it's basically getting over it with Mario.
Really?
Yes. You have to go down this long like run where you're doing all these different challenges and you have one chance.
Is it like platforming?
Yeah,
stuff?
There's platforming. It's mostly platforming, yeah. I mean, you're turning into characters, trying to get to the next thing, whatever. You've got 6 hearts or whatever you start with, mm-hmm. and that's it. You die, you start over. You start back at the very beginning. Now, they've got a thing at the very beginning where you can earn a 6 heart or whatever, a double heart thing. Mm-hmm. Which is great, and that's the best thing to do. There used to be a glitch where you could turn into a frog or something and jump past all of it. I never did that, and they've patched that now. So, anyway, all that to say, no, I probably would never get all the moons in Odyssey. But every now and then, when I'm like, I'll play some Odyssey, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if I lose that file and I start over, I will be horribly mad. Zelda, I'm okay. I am sad that I will lose my data of Zelda.
But it's not like you're going to get every Korok seed.
I've done everything I want to do in that game. And unless they announce some new expansion, which I don't predict, unless they announce some new expansion, I will probably not do much in that game ever again.
Did you get the motorcycle and stuff?
I got the motorcycle. I've beaten everything. Everything but the Korok seeds, and there's no way in hell I'm spending that much time in that game.
No. You get a pile of poop for
I get a pile of poop. Not worth it. Not worth it. I want to get the pile of poop to see if the pile of poop would fuel my motorcycle forever, but I don't even like the motorcycle enough to try that. So, and I can Google that later at some point.
Isn't the motorcycle like 3-star or something?
What?
Like the speed. Doesn't it have 3 stars for speed or something? It's like slower than Epona.
It's slower than Epona, but it can go over things that Epona can't. Like, I could drive the motorcycle not straight up a mountain, but basically straight up a mountain, more up a mountain than a horse could go. Mm-hmm. And that's the benefit of the motorcycle.
A Zelda horse or a Skyrim horse? A Skyrim horse could go up a like 90 degrees.
A Zelda horse. A Zelda horse. Zelda horses cannot do that. The motorcycle can, and a Skyrim horse could. But it's like Skyrim horse, motorcycle, Zelda horses. That's the logo. For those of you audio listeners, Skyrim was at the top, motorcycle in the middle, and Zelda horses on the bottom. And then Splatoon, I'm probably the most upset about because I just beat the story in Splatoon, and they're about to come out with the expansion for the next story mode. And I swear to God, if they tell me I have to beat the story again just to play the expansion, I'm really going to lose it. I just want to be a damn Octoling. Not to mention, that would lose all of my ranking. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm like a level 15 or something. So I don't even have access to all the weapons in the shops. And there's certain pieces of clothing I can't buy because I'm not high enough level or whatever. There's stuff like that I'm still dealing with. And now you're going to tell me that I start all over again? No. I'm going to be mad. But like Kirby, we just got, so I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, we didn't beat the first world.
Monster or Mario Rabbids, like I just beat that, so I'll be kind of upset. But I don't even know if I'm going to get the Donkey Kong expansion when it comes out. I probably will, but if I lose my save data, probably not. I may not. I'm a little upset about Golf Story 2, but I'm probably not going to play that one again.
Yeah,
they'll probably come out with a Golf Story 2 because it was so successful, and I'll play that. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I looked up, you said something that reminded me of Kingdom Hearts for some reason, and I remember that I was looking through a lot of old tweets on like my personal Twitter, and I found a tweet that was like, I think it was from like 2012, and it was like, they finally announced Kingdom Hearts 3. It's finally happening or something. I can't believe it's been 10 years since 2 came out, and it was like, that was 5 years ago, and it's still not fucking out, man. Like.
Oh man, that's funny. I'm glad thank you for sharing that. That's our life though. We've just been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's gonna happen this year. It's a year of dreams, baby. It's gonna happen. So while we're on this tangent, GDC was going on this week.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ton of news come out of it that I really cared about. But one bit of news that I did care about was and I've talked about this game on the podcast before, is Little Dragon Cafe, which is the creators of Harvest Moon. It's a new game. It's coming to Switch and PS4, which is hitting all the right bells for me. But I've talked about it before. It's like you're these two twins. You pick to play as the boy or the girl. And then
the guy shows up and he's like, I'm going to kill your mom unless you raise my dragon.
No, he puts your mom to sleep and says the only way to wake her up is to raise this dragon. So anyway,
so basically that.
It's basically that. So some people have written up articles about like they got to play the game at GDC. So like it's coming out this summer. Like it's going to be out here soon. They showed some new screenshots. The art style looks really kind of cool. It's kind of like storybookish, but your characters are 3D.
Yeah.
Or kind of 3D. It looks really fun. There's like an exploring element. You explore around with your dragon. As your dragon gets older and bigger, eventually you'll be able to ride it and fly. It can help you fight creatures that you need for recipes and stuff.
Is this filling the whole of that game that was going to come out on Xbox for you?
No, not quite. Scalebound?
Yeah.
Not quite. There's no bow in
I can't
this.
believe that never...
And I've said this before, the Xbox could win E3 for me unless Square Enix announced the release date of Kingdom Hearts. Xbox could win E3 for me if they just said Scalebound is coming this year, next month, or something. Like if they say it's happening
this year, next month.
Yeah.
They'd be like...
No, I want them to come out on stage and be like, Scalebound.
A year and 1 month.
No, I want them to be like, it's out today. And they drop the mics and they leave. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to show. They don't have to bring out no fancy cars and tell me it's only $6.99 or whatever.
A game that they're like, it's out now.
Yeah,
like a huge game.
I don't know, like...
I know, like, Nintendo's done some stuff that's like, it's out now.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not for, like, anything big.
Well, there's Zelda this past year, where they were like, the expansion, it's out now, or it's out tonight.
Yeah.
There was that, but that wasn't like a full game. So there have been some, but I don't know specifics.
The only one I can think of wasn't that, but it was a Fallout 4 that they were like, it's out in like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And
those are my favorite kind of E3 announcements, where it's something that we have not heard anything about, or maybe a little bit about, and then they're just like, oh yeah, it's out. It's out next week, whatever. I'm hoping Cyberpunk with CD Projekt Red, they're going to announce something at E3.
That's been a game that's like been in development for years, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they've been working on it since they finished The Witcher.
I thought I was hearing stuff about it before Witcher 3.
I believe they've been working on it a little bit before, but like ever since Witcher stopped, they've really been working on it. And it's been, I think, 3 years since we've like heard anything from them. So I pretty much expect them to show up at E3 and at least give us a release date. I think it would be awesome if they were like...
I think they showed a trailer that was like 10 seconds long and like showed the name of the game.
Yeah. They showed that 3 years ago, I think it was. It's been a while.
Besides that, nothing.
We got a tweet that was like beep boop. And
beep boop.
Yeah, like a server was coming back on or something.
Oh, okay.
And so people were like, "Are they about to make an announcement?" Or this was on their Twitter account that did not post for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And they haven't done anything since, but I'm pretty sure it has been confirmed that they are going to be at E3. So anyway, we should hear something about that later.
I think I saw something today that was like Smash Brothers and something else is going to headline Nintendo's E3 stuff.
I would think Smash. I don't know what the other thing could have been.
I don't remember.
Was it Metroid?
No, I'm surprised we haven't seen anything else of that, though.
I'm more surprised that we haven't seen anything about Fire Emblem. I guess technically, I guess we got about as much of an announcement from both of those.
Here's the thing that says Cyberpunk 2077 is very advanced technology-wise, character creation, classes, and more confirmed. I'm
excited. They the CD Projekt Red guys were saying that it's going to launch as a single player game, but there may be a multiplayer expansion at some point, which I think is really cool. I just want another Witcher though. That's all I really want. I'm hoping that Geralt will be in there at some point. People have theorized that the place that Ciri was hiding through most of the other games was in Cyberpunk's world, because she talks about it being like our world, like cars and people talk on phones and stuff, which I always took that to be like, oh, she was hiding in our world, like whatever. But now that they're making a game like that, it's like, oh, I think it would be so cool if there's a mission where you saw Ciri for like 2 seconds and she disappeared. Like you were hunting somebody, you went into a room and she like looked up and saw you and then teleported out. Yeah. And that was it. That was the end of the quest.
Like
that would
watching
be great.
You play Witcher 3 when it first came out, and like I've never been able to get in Witcher for some reason. I freaking love it. And like the combat seems kind of like for me. I love it. But watching you play Ciri seemed way more fun than Geralt.
I actually hate the Ciri sequences.
Yeah.
Because of just how different she plays, and I don't know, like I have Geralt built out to where I can do what I want to do. Ciri is still a mystery to me.
Yeah.
There's not enough segments.
I just saw you teleporting everywhere and was like, whoa.
You can teleport, but you can supposedly like slow down time and do all these other things, but I don't know how to do any of that. So I don't know, and I haven't seen any videos of somebody being able to do that. But there's a button over there that says I can do it, but I can't do it anyway. Let's move on. We've had a nice little toss around there.
20-minute catch up.
Let's that's what the show's about. I say at the top of the show, it's whatever we want to talk about. This is what we wanted to talk about. So, the Nindies Direct happened this week. I'm trying to pull up my article. Brodie, did you get to watch any of the Nindies?
I didn't. I saw.
You are a failure
Luminous
of a Nintendo fan.
And it was like, eh.
Honestly, there was nothing on their show, unless I just missed something, that really stood out to me. And I had a notepad out to write down games I wanted to try and get. I wrote down 2. So I was not really. One of the ones I wrote down was Mark of the Ninja Remastered, which was the one they showed at the top of the show. It just looked cool. I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was interesting. Then they showed some fighting game called Fantasy Strike. Just Shapes and Beats, which is like a synth rhythm game that's supposed to be. They described it as a rhythm game that's also a roguelike, which are not. Neither are boxes that I would check for myself, but it's looked and sounded really cool.
Interesting.
Garage, which is this interesting top-down shooter that's in a post-apocalyptic world, whatever. Pool Panic was this weird. It was from. What's the thing?
Fucking Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
It's like an Adult Swim thing.
It is. So it's Adult Swim. You're playing pool, pool balls and whatever. But the balls all have legs and are walking around, and you're in weird situations, and it didn't look like my cup of tea, but whatever. They announced Bomb Chicken, which is basically Bomberman, but you're a chicken. Whatever. Loomies Remastered.
It was everyone freaked out about that.
It is a popular PS puzzle game. So probably what you're seeing is all the PS Vita and PSP people who are die hard to that system are just freaking out excited because they're now going to have it on their Switch. I don't know anything about it. Don't necessarily care about it.
I watched gameplay of it and was like, eh.
So Reigns, have you played this game?
Oh, that was the thing on the phone, wasn't it?
Yes, Reigns is a mobile game where
we almost did a series of that when we first started. I think.
It's really complicated. It's a really weird.
It was if you're a king, you're making choices. Someone's like, I want this or something.
Yeah, and you can swipe left or right, and they both have different options, and your choices affect what happens next. So And basically, you are always reincarnated as the king. But the goal is to try to figure out how to break the devil's curse on you. And there's decisions that happen and random encounters that you have to do just right. And it's very complex. They recently came out with a queen version where you're the queen. The Nintendo Switch version is both. You can play both versions of the game. But I'll be honest,
deer.
Yeah, I don't know. They use deer for their art. I'm not sure why. But I'll be honest, all you're doing in this game is swiping left or right, which is why it's a great mobile game. But I don't know what the benefit of having it on Switch is.
More than $5.
I would be shocked if it was more than $5. But anyway, Lightfall, that had a really cool look. It apparently has gotten a lot of awards for a great platformer. There was West of Loathing, which looked like this really. It's a really funny stick figure looking game. They talked about how it's slapstick comedy or something in the trailer. There was Pode, which is a co-op explorer puzzle game where you're this little orb of light and I don't know. It looked interesting. The Messenger was a side-scroller game I had never heard of. There's an interesting time travel element to it. You start in an 8-bit, but you can time travel to a 16-bit version of the game, which you travel back and forth to do. I don't know. There was... this was one of the ones I wrote down. Bad North. It basically looks like a tower defense game, except you're on a tiny island, and invaders are going to come up to your island, and you've got units like archery units and sword fighting units and whatnot, and you have to position them on the island to fight the attackers. It It looked kind of cool. With it being indie, I imagine it'll be fairly cheap, but it looked really interesting. And then their like big final like drop the mic moment
Banner Saga's big.
Banner Saga 3 was coming to the Switch, and then also 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch later. I think 3 is coming before 1 and 2, but whatever. I realized it's big, but I didn't think it was that big. Like, as a mic drop moment, the thing you show at the very end.
I don't think this Nindies was supposed to be a mic drop thing.
I don't know that it was supposed to be a mic drop thing, but you always show your like biggest announcement at the end to like leave everybody hyped. I think Hyperlight would have been more of an announcement.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even in the Nindies. It happened later. Hyperlight's coming to Switch.
Banner Saga's like Fire Emblem with Vikings, I think.
Is it?
I think.
I haven't watched a lot of Banner Saga.
Banner Saga?
I haven't watched a lot of Banner. God, I can't speak. Banner Saga.
Banner Saga.
I haven't watched a lot of it. There is a mobile version of the game. I thought it was like a Telltale game with like you were just picking story choices.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think that's how it worked. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Either way, the game has not captured my attention enough to even look into it. And that was what they did at the very end. What did catch my attention was Hyperlight Drifter coming to Nintendo Switch, but they didn't do that in the Nindies announcement. They did that later. They also did Nidhogg outside of the Nindies. Nidhogg 2 is coming, which is like a sword fighting game. Clash Lands, which I don't know what this is. That was something I announced at GDC outside of the Nindies announcement.
When the hell is Hollow Knight coming out?
They didn't talk about Hollow Knight. There was a bunch of stuff they didn't talk about. So it was a very weird Nindies.
I have been waiting for Hollow Knight to come out on Nintendo Switch specifically for so long. It's out on like everything else, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But it's like the perfect game for a Switch.
Right.
But it won't fucking come out.
Well, I look forward to the Nindies because that's where smaller announcements like Overcooked coming to Switch I was so excited about that. Golf Story they announced in a Nindies, and we all know how much I love Golf Story. I'm trying to think. There's another one out that was really good. Blossom, Tales or something like that was announced in an Nindies. So like there have been some really cool bigger announcements in the Nindies. I didn't see any this time. Banner Saga I knew was kind of big, but I knew it as a mobile game, so I didn't think it was that big. Hyperlight I would have been like, oh man, Hyperlight, that's cool. But I don't know. It was just kind of overall a meh Nindies, but I have seen a lot of people who were excited about it. So
yeah, Hollow Knight Dev said, "Hey everyone, we won't be featured in tomorrow's Nindies presentation, but we'll give you an update on Switch progress and the release date later this week." So it's
later this week.
They have 2 more days.
You have just a little bit of time. While we're on the subject of Nintendo, let's transition into another story. Rare Studio Head said that they are open to the possibility of letting someone use the Banjo-Kazooie IP. So there's been a big rumor going around that, well, they basically said for the right project and the right team, they would do it.
So they're pretty much asking Nintendo, like, please put them in Smash.
There is a lot of talk of Banjo-Kazooie showing up in Smash. I think that would be really cool because I like Banjo-Kazooie.
It'd be cool if they use like the old Banjo-Kazooie,
like polygon, like still
it don't have to look
shell
like that,
shaded.
but that design, I don't like the new design.
Oh yeah, the new design is horrible.
He looks weird.
Yeah, he looks really weird. Either way, I like Banjo-Kazooie, and I would love to see what that would look like.
No, they should put that. They should put the polygon.
The old one.
Banjo-Kazooie with like all the updated.
Yeah.
It's like new Mario next to old ass 64 Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, Nintendo 64 Kazooie. I think that would be cool. I think it's interesting that that's what they're tossing around. Mm-hmm. Because I realize Rare didn't do this, but Yooka-Laylee just came out recently.
That right?
Is that how you say it? It's just ukulele.
Because Banjo and Kazooie are both instruments. Ukulele, the instrument.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Ukulele.
Ukulele.
I thought that was the whole point. I thought it was like you don't say it like ukulele, but you could say it like ukulele.
No.
Okay, ukulele then. with ukulele being out, that was kind of like, hey, let's, people want more banjo. Let's do this.
I heard it didn't bomb, but everyone was kind of disappointed.
It did not do well.
Yeah.
In fact, I knew it was coming to Switch, so I was like, I'm gonna wait on Switch for this one.
And
no, we have it. It's downloadable. You can download it.
Yeah.
There's no physical
I just
version.
didn't end up buying it. I was thinking the same thing as you.
I pretty much, after hearing reviews and knowing what else is coming to the Switch, I was just like, I'll pass on this because I don't have time.
Maybe if it goes on like a big sale.
I mean, if it went on a big sale and there was like a drought of Switch games, and even still there'd have to be a drought of other games as well, because I pretty much only play the games that I have on Switch when I don't have something to play on a bigger system or I'm on a trip. Yeah, anyway, but I don't know. It's interesting. So you would like to see Banjo in Smash?
I wouldn't care. I'm cool with
You're not that big
anyone.
of a Banjo fan.
I'm cool with anyone in Smash.
Just put everybody in Smash.
Goku.
Deadpool, just whatever. Everybody in.
Did we kill this when we recorded all that stuff?
Click it. Does it not do anything? I guess not. My boss came in and tapped it earlier today. We're talking about my question block that I have in my office. It usually makes a dinging noise, but it's not making anything. When we had everybody in for a big filming weekend, we started to ding it and it made like a really weird sound. So we were like, okay, that's broken. Okay, the last thing we'll talk about, and this is unfortunately kind of a stupid story, but I'm really just not sure what's happening. Atari has announced their Atari box, which is the official name. Oh, I'm sorry, no. It's Atari VCS is the official name of the Atari console that they have been rumoring for a long time.
That's the official name?
The official name is the Atari VCS.
Virtual console system, I guess.
Sure, let's go with that. They don't say that.
I mean,
that makes sense. So basically, we've talked about this before a little bit. We just now have an official name and official pictures. But basically what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to provide a retro-inspired gaming experience that is an entertainment platform that brings the full PC experience to a TV, allowing you to stream, use applications, use social media browsing, music, and more. And it's supposed to have retro Atari games as well as current titles from a range of studios.
It's supposed to replace a PC?
It says it wants to bring the PC to the TV.
That's weird.
Unless it's more powerful than an Xbox One an Xbox One X.
What?
I don't know what they're talking about.
That's really weird. What games would there be on it?
What I'm wondering, and I hope doesn't happen, is this another contender in the console war? So we've got Nintendo, we've got PlayStation, we've got Microsoft. One could argue that Steam is somewhat of a competitor. I think they have some sort of box that you can use Steam games in.
They have like a Steam controller.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've heard about something they were trying to make. But regardless, you got the big three. Is Atari trying to get into this fight? Because that's stupid. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm already a little frustrated that I have 3 systems. Don't tell me I have to get a 4th.
Yeah.
For something else, I don't know. It's really weird.
I'm okay with just my PlayStation, and unless Xbox announces something. Even then, I'm not a big fan of any of Xbox's IPs anymore.
I've always been glad that. So I've never been interested in any Xbox IP until Recore and Scalebound, and those were the 2 that I was like, crap. I may need to look into getting an Xbox.
Yeah. And
Scalebound was the one that tipped the scale, literally. No pun intended. And then they canceled it. So, and then Sea of Thieves was like, okay, this could be it. But now that I've played it, again, if I can get it on sale or for a cheaper price or a better price or something, maybe. Or if they do a massive update within the next few months, I don't know what they could do to salvage that game for me. But
yeah. They have Halo and Gears of War, and it's yeah.
They do have Fable too, and I've always liked the Fable series, but I've never had an Xbox to play it.
Lionhead Studios.
I know, but they've talked about revising that series. I'm just saying that's an IP that I would have liked. But anyway, I just don't know what the Atari box is going to do. I don't know what it is, because if it is a PC, like I don't know.
It won't be.
I don't know how it will be able to run better than an Xbox One X, and I'm not looking to pay for an Xbox One X, and also. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, there are a few games that come strictly to PC, coming out of Steam or something like that have not made a console debut that I might be interested in if you're telling me this box could play Steam games with no problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm interested. But if you're telling me, here's all these games that are coming to your PlayStation and your Xbox, you can play it on this Atari. Why? What's the point?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't
know. Maybe if it's PlayStation exclusives and Xbox exclusives will play on this thing, hell yeah. But that's not the story. That's not the case.
No, there's no way.
There's no way.
They can't even get along to, like, cross-play.
Yeah, no kidding. PlayStation won't let us cross-play. They're not going to let us cross-buy on an Atari. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Chortle Cast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a few things you can do to help us out. If you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com, and you can leave a comment on this video. We see those, we comment back, and we may even read your comment if we think it was worth reading. If you're an audio listener, you can leave us a review on iTunes. We would appreciate that. That really helps out the channel. You can also send us an email at chortlecast@gmail.com. You can let us know what we got wrong in this episode. You can let us know if there's a certain topic you want us to talk about on the next podcast. If there's a news story that you hear about in the week and you want to hear our opinions on it or think we would be really excited to hear about it, you can email us that. Again, chortlecast@gmail.com. You can also tweet us at Twitter. We're at Chortle Games. We'll tweet you back. You can also find us on Facebook. Comment and like that page. Again, it's Chortle Games on Facebook.
Sounded like a threat. Comment and like
it, or I might die.
That doesn't sound like a threat.
Well, I felt like I should be threatening, but not make a threat, because that's not very very polite of me.
Like it, or
so I made
die.
I made a threat to myself, pointed at the viewers. So there you go. So thanks for tuning in. We've got a great week of content coming up this next week. We are starting our new series on Monday. Well, I guess I should start. So today, you're watching live on Friday at 12 o'clock. It's probably 1 o'clock for you now if you watch this right at 12. Mm-hmm. We are live streaming this weekend. Miles and Steven are going to be live streaming A Way Out, which they're going to go through maybe the first hour and a half or so of the game, which is going to be really cool. And then Steven and I are going to be live streaming Ni no Kuni 2. We're going to stream probably the first hour or two of that game.
Two-player?
It is not 2-player. I will be playing, and Steven will be commentating on what's happening, and he will be keeping up with the chat. So if you're there, feel free to talk to us through that. I think Steven was just interested in the game and wanted to watch. We have talked about it on the podcast. So
still need to play the first one, or are they not connected?
They are in the same world, but you don't have to know what happened in the first one to enjoy this one, is my understanding. Okay. There may be some like Easter egg things that you're like, oh, I know that from the first game, but it's not going to like matter, from what I understand. Yeah. And then Saturday, so we do 2 live streams on Friday, and then on Saturday we're probably going to do 2 live streams. We're going to play Monster Hunter with Brodie, probably Miles and Steven. And then later that afternoon, me and Steven are going to play Sea of Thieves. So, or later that night, I should say, we're going to play some more Sea of Thieves. So if you want to hear Steven be salty one more time about this game,
water,
all that salt water, that's what you can do. Then, of course, we have content 6 days of the week. So Monday, we're going to start our A Way Out Let's Play series. So just like we did Cuphead, where we played through every boss, we did every level, we did the whole thing all the way to the devil. We're going to do the same thing with The Way Out. So me and Brodie, we're going to be playing through the whole thing.
Hopefully this one doesn't last 4 months.
Supposedly it should be about 8 or 10 parts for us. So it'll be a little bit of a shorter series, but we haven't played it yet, so we'll find out. But anyway, that's our next series. It's going to start Monday. So if you jump into that and watch that. Tuesday, Steven will be doing his XCOM series, but also that's the day that Far Cry 5 comes out, and Steven is going to want to play that game. So he and I are going to be live streaming that on Tuesday night as well. If you watched our coverage of Sea of Thieves this past weekend on a Tuesday, that's exactly how it's going to work. He'll do his XCOM series. Right after that, we'll do some Far Cry 5. And then Wednesday, we're going to have a Sea of Thieves Let's Play. It's going to be me and Steven. We're going to be talking like pirates. We're going to be doing piratey things, and it's going to be great. We're going to try to fight a Kraken, but I don't know that's going to happen. And then on Thursday, Steven does a couch co-op live stream with Miles and another friend. Occasionally, I'll jump in on that if it's something we can do online co-op. And then, of course, Friday, we'll have another podcast for you, 2 live streams, and 2 live streams on Saturday. So, a lot of stuff going on, Brodie. Do you like how much content we have going out now?
We have so much content.
It's so crazy how much we have going on at any given time. There's so much going on, I can't even keep up with it. My calendar looks like a kaleidoscope because there's so many colors, there's so much going on. So, it's crazy. We've got a lot of good content. So, anyway, Brodie, you got anything, closing thoughts you want to leave these folks with?
I'm just wondering what Far Cry 5 Live S and Morbor J is.
That is Far Cry 5, Steven and Miles, or Brodie, or Jake, because Miles and Steven are buying the game. Mm-hmm. I'm buying the game, but I may be trading the game back in or giving to you. So any 4 of us,
I'll take it if you don't want it.
Any 4 of us could be in that live stream on Friday.
Who freaking knows,
Who freaking knows, man? I may be trading that in for good old God of War there. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.